he's trying to show us variations within the same kind of plant or animal and draw attention away from the first 5 major steps that would have had to take place in order for this 6th one to even be able to start happening. So, microevolution, though it's a lousy term, is science. Variations happen within the same kind of animal. You admit the first 4 steps are not proven and are not part of science, not part of evolution at least, then why don't you help them get them out of the books used on this campus? How many students in this campus right here? Would you report to me in about 3 or 4 months and tell me how much effort he has put into getting those out of the textbooks, please? Okay? Let me know. See, the textbook here says mammals, birds, and crocodiles have a common ancestor. Now this is pure speculation. This is propaganda, Soviet style. That's not science. All those trees of life and their branches of our ancestors is a lot of nonsense. Even Mary Leakey admits that, and she believes in evolution. British Museum of Natural History has a director called Colin Patterson. He was asked, Luther Sunderland read his book, read Patterson's book about evolution. Patterson wrote a book about evolution. Sunderland read it and said, Mr. Patterson, I read your book about evolution, but I noticed you never showed any missing links. Why didn't you show us any missing links? Patterson wrote back and said, I fully agree with your comments on the lack of evolutionary transitions in my book. If I knew of any, fossil or living, I would certainly have included them. I will lay it on the line, there is not one such fossil. Now, Dr. Pigliucci claims there is a multitude of intermediate fossils. Dr. Colin Patterson, who has his hands on the largest fossil collection in the world, says there isn't one. Somebody is mistaken here, folks. Even Stephen Gould, the communist professor at Harvard, says the evolutionary trees that adorn our textbooks are not from the evidence of fossils. They make up these trees. It's based on imagination. It doesn't happen. It's true dogs produce a variety of dogs. No argument out of me. That happens. And you might get some really wild dogs. I mean, really bizarre variations. But you're always going to get a dog. Nobody's ever seen a dog produce a non-dog. And if it did, who would it marry? Think about it. You might get a big dog or a little dog, but you're always going to get a dog. And it could be the dog, the wolf, and the coyote have a common ancestor. I would not argue about that. But they're still the same kind of animal. Let's see if we can find the youngest kid in the room here. Anybody here under 7? How old is he? 6 and a half. What's your name? What? Joshua? Joshua, up here on the screen, I have a dog, a wolf, a coyote, and a banana. Which one is not like the others? The banana! Let's give him a hand. All we observe are variations within the same kind of animal. It could be that the horse and the zebra have a common ancestor. I wouldn't argue about that. Stand back and look at them. They're the same kind of animal. That doesn't prove a horse and a banana are related, folks. What happens, students are asked to make a giant leap of faith and logic, totally in the absence of any scientific evidence, to believe in macroevolution, which says the dog and the rose have a common ancestor, if you go back far enough in time, and it was a rock. That's based on a fantasy, based upon imagination. See, this is never talked about. This one's not talked about much. This one is talked about a little bit, but they really focus on microevolution, or variations, within the same kind. And that's all it is a variation. But we don't argue about that. That happens. The rest is assumed. They try to sneak them in as if it's a package deal. Well, if you believe in evolution, you have to believe in the whole thing.
You have 5 minutes left.
Oh, man, I'm just getting rolling. Okay. Number 6 of those 6 is true, but the other 5 are smuggled in. Students are given one definition, like descent with modification, which is true. Even Dr. Pigliucci tonight in his slide said, evolution is a change in gene frequency over time. Now that is kind of a deceitful definition of evolution. Because that's the same as I've said, the animals are going to bring forth after their kind, and you might get a gene frequency. But see, changing the gene frequency does not change the genetic complexity, and it doesn't add any new information. It doesn't make a new animal. Changing the gene frequency is like scrambling up the letters of the English alphabet. You will never get Chinese words that way. And evolution requires changing into a totally different kind, with totally new genetic information. Watch what this textbook does. Evolution means a change over time. That's definition number 1. This one says, evolution is defined as a change in species species over time. Oh, now they've narrowed it clear down, haven't they? If you really mean species change over time, I agree, then we can all go home. It's what's implied that I don't like. See, they slip in the other definitions of evolution, like cosmic and organic, and say, then they tell the students, if you don't believe in evolution, you don't understand science. Well, I'm sorry, I think I do understand science pretty well. I taught it 15 years. And evolution is not part of science. It is a religious worldview that is unsupported by science, and I, for one, am sick and tired of paying for it to be taught in our public school system. In advertising, it's called bait and switch. If I said, new Mercedes, $10, everybody would line up at the door to buy it. Well, when you got there, and I said, hey, actually, it's $99,000. Well, I baited you to come in and switched it. That's illegal. People go to jail for that. And professors ought to go to jail.